Kia ora. Hopefully this thing works. I haven't actually tested it, but tēnā tātou katoa, ko Hori-te-Ariki Mataki tōku ingoa. Hui rea hau no o tēnei taone o tautahi. My name's Hori-Mataki. I grew up here in Christchurch. I went to a school called Aranui High School. Anyone know where that school is or have heard of that school? That school doesn't exist anymore. Probably a good reason that it doesn't exist is, it was a pretty rough school, but I went to that school. I'm the first one in my family to get a degree in design, or just to get a degree. So I just attended a hui for Leaders of Indigenous Medical Education today and a few days ago. And at that hui we learned a lot about the commonalities between us as Indigenous people across the world in that space around health and well-being. So I think I'll start off my kōrero today by firstly acknowledging my hapu or my iwi ngaitahu and ngaituahuriri, those that have allowed me to be pretty much a mischievous creative that can just make cool stuff around town. I'm very lucky in that space. Just acknowledging them for allowing me to do that. Has anyone talked to you guys about mahinga kai yet during this event? So I think for myself, as someone that grew up in Christchurch, mahinga kai for me was pretty much going to the dairy and everyday stuff like that, getting fast food and that. So mahinga kai for myself as an Indigenous person growing up in the city is different to what my ancestors would have done. And for myself, I sort of see that as an exchange of energy. In the past, they would transfer energy from the environment to themselves to keep themselves sustained, and then they'd plant more things or do more things to let that energy sustain itself again and then come back and grab a bit more. Today we put all of our energy really into making money so we can buy food, so it's like this weird transaction. So trying to think of ourselves as Indigenous people today and what is our mahinga kai today. And for myself, I believe our mahinga kai today is our influence and our connectivity that we've had and we're trying to re-establish within everybody else. So how do we connect to our environment sustainably moving forward together? I think that's an important thing. And what I learned from the conference around health and well-being for Indigenous people is that a lot of our people, Māori people, Indigenous people around the world are struggling just to survive. And when you're not surviving, you're not thriving, you know. So they haven't quite been able to obtain those things that were lost in the past. So losing land is such a massive thing for anybody. And I think for those that are getting influence from us as Indigenous people in this space, maybe think about those that are still struggling to survive as well out there today in those communities like Aranui that we grew up in. So on that, I'd just like to talk a little bit about what we do at Ariki Creative. So I started the business as a designer, looking at the industry and pretty much being the only Māori at the design school, thinking, oh, I could do something with this, and then Googled how to start a business. That was 13 years ago. Started as a freelancer, bootlegging all the software. Might have to pause the camera. But in myself, being fortunate enough to attend a school like ARA, to attend a School of Art and Design, I was fortunate enough to be helped out by my own family to get into that space. My dad would drop me off every day and give me bus money if I needed it. So my legacy isn't my own. It's not something that I've done on my own. There's people that have helped me around me, my cousins, my aunt, my nana, all those that have supported myself to get to this position. So it's important for someone like myself to hand those opportunities down to those others that want to be in this space too. So I think for us as Indigenous, it's not about an individual success. It's about how do we succeed together collectively for the well-being of everybody. And Christchurch is probably pretty much like the ideal place for looking at disruption for so many reasons. And for us as Māori, disruption is something that it's intrinsic to us. We know it very well because it's just something we have to live with every day. So I'm really fortunate to be part of the resurgence of our mana in this landscape here in Ōtautahi. The first time I saw Māori designs in Christchurch was walking down the alleyway and someone graffitied some kōwhaiwhai on the walls. And now we actually get paid to do it, and it's something that people want and stuff. It's so awesome, you know. So mihi atu ki a koutou for allowing our iwi and our iwi for allowing this partnership thing to happen. Yeah, so that's myself in a nutshell, what we do in my job. I'll just flick through some images so you can see. Working with the University of Canterbury, creating brands and kind of splicing ideas together. Can anyone tell me what they can see in this picture here? Don't be shy. It's all good. Potential? Yeah, okay. Yep. Potential, so te kore is another word for potential. It means the nothingness, dark matter, I guess you could say in the scientific term. When Maui slowed the sun, that's what a sun looks like when it's turned off. It's black, see? And you got the ropes. So those stories that we used to tell, or that's why they've travelled so far across the landscape, because they were really embedding us knowledge around mahinga kai. How do we use the time in the day? How do we fish up massive fish without letting them get free and stuff, you know? So our narratives are really our old hard drives, our old Google. We didn't have Google, so we just told stories that were cool enough to remember. So all these designs are just kind of a blend between the old and the new. So in bidding for a design contract, they asked me what my art style was. I'm not an artist, I'm a designer, so I just said urban Māori futurist, which just means I'm a Māori that grew up here now and I'm looking to the future. So I coined that. If anyone else uses that, it's all good. But yeah, that's myself at 10 minutes, I can't even tell. Oh, sorry, so yeah, Ariki Creative, we do graphic design, bicultural branding for organisations. So we'll get like University of Canterbury wants to tell a narrative about their place in space. We work with Mana Whenua, Ngai Hori-te-Ariki, under the guidance of Dr. Te Maire Tau, who's given them a narrative about what the university means to us as Ngai Hori-te-Ariki, and how do we put those designs in across the landscape of the campus, into the marketing material, onto the website. So if you see anything at UC that's Māori, it's probably us, and if it looks oh, it's not us, it's someone else. Fortunate enough to also work on the other rebrand, adding the bicultural design to the rebrand, wearing one of the tops that Te Marino allowed me to design, so get free gears too, it's pretty cool, get to wear the gears. And the idea of succession within us. So I started off as a freelancer, now we've got a team of 13, and the one that has probably one of our biggest successes is Morgan Matthews, who's an amazing artist in her own self. She's now doing this sort of work around Ōtautahi on her own, so she's been able to establish her own business and be her own rangatira in her own way. So she designed tūranga with Ricky Manuel, Māori Master Carver. So these are some of the designs that you see now. Yeah. You might have seen the bus interchange. That was our very first job in this physical space. It was pretty funny because, like, it seems hard out, but it's just the same thing as I'm doing on the t-shirts, you know, it's just someone else does all the hard stuff. And working with other carvers, other artists, Fane Robinson, Piri Kawi, yeah. I think it's 10 minutes, eh? Oh, nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.